test. Over the next 2 hours, but not much improvement as far as temperature wise. So staying right around 88 degrees for the next couple of hours, at least through the game, it looks like, with those partly cloudy skies. Winds out of the south-southeast here at LFD Field, so they're kind of blowing in So blowing in from the south-southeast at about 17 miles an hour, are expected to be right around 17 miles an hour. That flag out there right now in center field at the 429 mark, that's hanging just straight vertical or vertical down the flagpole. So the Sandacre ball field, kind of in that protected Cheyenne River Valley, just nestled up on the to the west, or I should say to the east of the dike that runs through Sandacre Park and LFD, or Sandacre Park on the west side, and protected by the valley and the trees that surround it. So right now that flagpole out in center field, the flag's hanging vertical down that field. Get to your Irie Insurance pregame show. So this is your Irie Insurance pregame show. As I mentioned, the Lisbon Broncos, the number 4 team out of the region with that 9-5 region record. They're 17-10 overall. They opened up their season play. So, supposedly it was supposed to be on the 3rd of April, but that was rained out and postponed. So a little bit of the rain, or a little bit of rain that we did have, that was back that first week of the regular season of baseball. And Lisbon's opening game against Oaks was postponed, but they ended up with a home opener then on the 8th of April, where they defeated Hankinson, Fairmont, Campbell, Titta, Rossholt by a score of 4-3 in their opening game of the season. And Jordan Bittner pitched that game to a win here at LFD Field. And then the Broncos would travel on the 10th of April to Northern Cass, where they dropped that contest to Northern Cass by a score of 1-2. So narrow defeat there on the 10th of April against the undefeated Northern Cass Jaguars back on the 10th of April. And then they head-to-head matchups here with Oak Grove. Lisbon traveled to Oak Grove on the 11th of April and played to a 12-5 win at Oak Grove. And then they matched up again back on the 6th of May. And Lisbon defeated Oak Grove by a score of 13-0 in region play. So Lisbon 9-5, the number 4 team in the region. And then you have Oak Grove with a record of 5-9 in Region 1. They are the number 5 team. And Oak Grove opened up their season against Hankinson, Fairmont, Rossholt, Campbell, Tinta. The Ball Stars with a win 2-1 back on the 10th of April. And then they had those 2 other matchups with the Lisbon Broncos, where Lisbon defeated Oak Grove back on the 11th of April and then on the 6th of May. So these 2 teams have matched up with Lisbon defeating Oak Grove handily both times they've matched up. The Broncos look like they're starting Jackson Hoffer today. Hoffer with a record of 3-1 and a 2.194 ERA. He has 16 strikeouts on the season with 7 walks, 7 earned runs, and 14 hits. So that's Lisbon's starting pitchers, Jackson Hoffer. Here as we continue on in our Irie Insurance pregame show. And then for Oak Grove. So Oak Grove, their starting pitcher today. Yeah, let me see if I can find that. So their starting pitcher today is Oliver Hegvik. So Oliver Hegvik on the season with an 0-2 record and a 9.100 earned run average. He's given up 14 hits on the season, 19 runs, 13 bases on balls, and 4 strikeouts there for Hegvik. So those are your 2 starting pitchers. Lisbon going with Hoffer, the left-hander, and then Oak Grove going with Hegvik. So those are your starting pitchers in today's contest. Like I mentioned, Jackson Hoffer, 3-1 with that 2.194 ERA. One of Lisbon's strengths is their depth of their pitching. So they do have a number of talented pitchers on their squad this year, led by Jordan Bittner. So Bittner with a stingy .84 ERA, or 8.40 ERA for Bittner on the season. And we will go ahead. We'll step away, take another word from our sponsors, come back. We'll go into our starting lineups and then finish out our pregame show here on yourliveevent.com.
Let the geeks at GK Technology help you with your agricultural data. Their agronomists know agriculture. When it comes to creating soils and zone maps to maximize yields in your fields, you can trust the people with decades of experience in site-specific agriculture. Everyone at GK Technology has a background in agriculture, so they know what makes a farm run, and they speak your language. The geeks at GK Technology have a map and an app for that.
Hey, welcome back to LFD Field as we continue on with our Ivory Insurance pregame show. Get the insurance protection you want with the customer service you deserve at Ivory Insurance. They cover it all from home, auto, crop, commercial, and benefits insurance. Go to ivoryinsurance.com to get a free quote. This is your Ivory Insurance pregame show. Looking at other games around the region in this Region 1 tournament opening round action. And the opening rounds are played at the high seeds field, and you have number 1 Northern Cass taking on the number 8 seed Enderlin. Number 2 seed Central Cass versus the number 7 seed Hankinson, Fairmont, Rossholt, Campbell, Tinta. Number 3 Kindred takes on Oaks, and then you have the number 4 and number 5 game here on yourlevevent.com between Lisbon and the Oak Grove Grovers. Your region champion last year was Central Cass, and then your state champion in 2024 was Thompson. They defeated Grafton by a score of 4-3, and also put together, I should say, three back-to-back state championships in baseball for Thompson as they picked up the 2023 state Class B championship, defeating Lemoore by a score of 9-0. And then in 2022, they defeated Lemoore by a score of 11-7. And in 2021, going back another year on the Class B state tournament, Langdon area Munich defeated Lemoore by a score of 9-1. So Thompson, with the back-to-back reigning state champions in Class B, and looking to repeat and make it 4 in a row for Thompson. But they will have some stiff competition here out of Region 1. They're running out of Region 1 here. Looking at some talented teams with Northern Cass, Kindred, Central Cass, and Lisbon. And then looking at your Region 2 standings, so just with your Region 2 standings, that's Thompson sits on top of Region 2 with an 8-0 record. The number 2 team out of Region 2 is Laramie High School at 8-2. And the number 3 team, Hillsborough Central Valley. Region 3 has Lemoore, Litchfield, Marion, Edgeley, the number 1 team out of Region 3. South Border, number 2 at 6-2. Carrington, the number 3 team at 3-5 in the region. Region 4, your top team is Park River area. The Broncos traveled to Park River last Saturday and were defeated twice up there at Park River. So Park River, tough team out of Region 4. They're the 5-1 in their region. Number 2 team, Langdon area Munich at 4-2. Number 3 of the Grafton Spoilers with a 1-3 region record. Out of Region 5, Bottineau High School is 10-0. North Stars 5-3. Harvey Wells County is 6-4. And then Region 6, Garrison High School is 9-1. Belva Drake Animu is 8-2. Bishop Ryan Nedros is 7-3. Those are your top 3 teams. Out of Region 6, Region 7, your top 3 teams. Number 1 team is Renville County Muskrats at 4-0. Number 2 team, Deslax Burlington at 7-1. And number 3 team is Kenmare Bull Bills. Burke Central was 6-2. That's your Region 7 standings, top 3 teams. Region 8, top 3 teams is Bismarck Shiloh Christian at 6-3. Number 2 is Hazen High School at 6-4. And Washburn Wilton Center Stanton at 5-4 is the number 3 team out of Region 8. So those are your region standings, your top 3 teams. As we're getting ready for our national anthem, we're going to step away, take a word from our sponsors, come back for our starting lineups here on yourlevevent.com.
Johnson Insurance is your friendly neighborhood team of qualified insurance professionals, proudly serving the community for over 40 years. As an experienced independent agency, they partner with top-rated insurance companies to provide affordable and tailored solutions for farm, crop, business, home, and auto insurance. When it comes to crop insurance, Walt and Grant deliver unmatched expertise and personalized service. With the March 15th sales closing deadline approaching, now is the perfect time to trust your crop protection needs to the team who puts you first. To get started with a free quote, head to nd-insure.com for more info.
That wants to earn any money running camera.
Please welcome now the Association Hammering. And on the bases, Eric Olson.
Hey, welcome back to LFD Field here, finishing up our Ivy Insurance pregame show. We're getting into our starting lineups here from San Diego Park in Lisbon, North Dakota, LFD Field, newly named LFD Field. Lisbon's ballpark currently undergoing a number of renovations. They have now turfed the pitching mound and home plate area, as well as the batter's box. And then they also have the scoreboard, just waiting to get the new scoreboard put up, and then they plan on putting up new dugouts and then relocating the batting cages, which will greatly improve the utility of this field down here as far as baseball. And then looking, hopefully, to get that outfield or that fence moved in from the outfield. Right now, the farthest part of the field, deep center, right by the flagpole, is 429 feet. And then the right center, you're looking at about 373 to right center. And then left center is 375. Down the line, left field is 331. So I have seen a few home runs out here down the 331 left field line. And then I did see a home run right around the 398 mark hit by Ryder Bickett of Carrington in a Babe Ruth game that bounced off the shed out there in center field. So we'll get into our starting lineups. They're on the ball here today as we're finishing up our Ivy Insurance pregame show. Your first pitch is brought to you by Norman County Raceway. And River Valley Speedway. That's Norman County Raceway. Check the World of Outlaws late models on June 28th and 8th. Tickets now available at normancountyraceway.com. And that first pitch is a strike from Jackson Hoffer to Noel Meidinger. Meidinger leading things off. And that ball is fouled up behind first base in the announcer's booth. So that's strike two. No balls, 2 strikes here to Noel Meidinger. Hoffer with a 3-1 record, 2.194 ERA. Going against Noel Meidinger of Oak Grove. That's down the left field line, and it's fair. So Meidinger with the base hit. He's going to take round second, going in for the double. Throws in time, and he takes him out at second. The nice relay over there from Howard to Bittner to Cordero. So the 7-6-4 put out. Meidinger tried to extend that hit to a double. So 1 out here for Hoffer. That was a nice hit down the left field line, just inside fair territory. Meidinger tried to extend the hit to a double. Was thrown out off the relay from Howard to Bittner to Cordero for the put out. That's down the left field line again and smothered by Lyons. So that's a base hit for Grayson Doctor. So Doctor with 1 out on first base. Kind of picking their spot right now down the left field line. Great play by Jake Lyons. And batting in the third spot is Zach Winter for Oak Grove. Left-handed hitter against the left-handed pitcher. Goes in for a strike. So if anything, Hoffer throwing a lot of strikes here to start things out. Oak Grove has the 6 going to open things up in the first inning. That pitch is a strike swinging here for Winter. So Hoffer works out of the stretch, takes a look over at first. He does have a pretty good move over there. Pickoff move to first base, takes another look. Not a big lead there by Doctor. So count 1 ball, 2 strikes. To Winter, he swings and a throw down from the catcher, not in time, and that goes up over the head of Bittner. So a strikeout for the second out. They do advance the runner. To second. So runner in scoring position, 2 outs, brings up Elliot Butenhoff. Butenhoff, right-handed hitter. Against going to the lefty. That's fly ball to center field. Welter has to make a play on it. Comes up, calls off the second baseman Cordero for the third out. And that'll do it in the top of the first inning here from LFD Field. As Oak Grove held scoreless, had a base runner on in scoring position. And that'll bring up the Lisbon Broncos to bat in the bottom of the first inning.
Jackson Hopper with 10 pitches.
Stop on out to Watts Ace Hardware in Castleton and gear up with name brands from Steel, Milwaukee, Ego, and Craftsman Power Tools.
Hey.
Plus, Watts Ace Hardware has a key cutting and paint mixing section for your own do-it-yourself projects. From their grill selection with Traeger,
Got the mic turned off right
Weber,
now.
and the Big Green Egg to their customer laser engraving center, Watts Ace Hardware is a place you need to check out. Stop in at 1610 Governor's Drive in Castleton for Watts Ace Hardware.
Oh, actually had a couple base hits.
Future.
First one
Choosing
was
the
guy
right
tried
bank
to
for your
the leadoff guy
financial
tried to
needs
stretch it
can
to
be
double. He got
challenging
thrown
with
out.
the many choices available.
And
Dakota
then
Heritage Bank is pleased
he got another
you're
single.
interested in knowing
Got a
more
guy
about
on.
what they can do
Got
for
another
you.
out. Couple
The Dakota
strikeouts.
Heritage Bank Community Bank setting is a strong advantage they have over larger, less personal banks. Customers
So
are
was that
more
an
than
F?
account numbers. They are friends and neighbors. Working together, Dakota
All right.
Heritage Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
All right, welcome back to LFD Field. We are now in the bottom of the first inning. We'll try to keep those stats updated for the bottom of the first. Here brings up our leadoff hitter, Cam Cordero. Leading off for Lisbon is Cam Cordero with a .303 batting average, .405 on base percentage. Playing second base, number 2 hitter, Eli Lyons. Lyons batting .385. Catching in the third, number 3 spot, Jordan Bittner. Batting .537. So Cordero to lead off. Draw with a ball from Hegvik. Just high. Like an off-speed pitch from Hegvik. Righty against a righty. And that is another ball. So ball 2 from Hegvik. 2 balls, no strikes. They have strike on the outside corner. So 2 balls, 1 strike to Cam Cordero from Hegvik. Hegvik on the season 0-2 with a 9.100 ERA. Giving up 19 runs and 14 hits. That's high and hits Cordero, hit by pitch. Cordero will advance. So Cordero hit by pitch. Leadoff man's aboard for Lisbon in the bottom of the first inning.
Eli Lyons.
So nobody out. Brings up Eli Lyons, hitting .385. On deck, Jordan Bittner batting .537 with 1 home run on the year for Lisbon. Cordero, the speedster on the bases. Lyons swings and misses for strike 1. Hegvik takes a look. Now he throws back to first. Cordero back in time. Lyons back. Steps back in the batter's box. Playing to the backside of the throw. Shows a bunt. And he pops it up. And one of the worst things he can do on the bunt is pop it up in the air. And Lyons went up. So it was a high pitch. And he pops out. So that's a fly out or pop up. And out number 1. So still a runner on for a man on first. 1 out. Jordan Bittner up to bat, batting .537 on deck. Jaden Howard for Lisbon. And that's a strike. So strike one. Cordero takes the sign. Bittner steps back in. Hedvig out of the stretch. So Grove wearing the black unis. Runner goes, and Bittner pops it up. High pop up back behind first base. For strike two. 2 strikes. So Hedvig stepped off the rubber, now back on it. Cordero had to go back to first. So have the hit and run on. This pitch, curveball, and hits Bittner. So hit by pitch is Bittner. So runner will advance from first. So runner's now on first and second. Another hit by pitch. Curveball not breaking. So I was up in the count, no ball, or 0-2 count. He went with the curveball and is up putting Bittner on base with the hit by pitch. So now 1 out, runners on first and second. Brings up Jaden Howard, the cleanup hitter, batting .388 on the season with 4 home runs. Big swing by Howard for strike one. Still working out of the stretch. Here's Hedvig with the delivery outside, just misses. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Hedvig takes a look at Cordero at third. Cordero's been known to steal or take third. That's a pop-up. Going to the third base side. The third baseman camped out. That's Butenhoff underneath it. And makes the out. Runners stay put on first and second for the second out. So 2 outs, 2 on. Brings up Colton Johnson. That was an F5 for the second out. Colton Johnson batting .361 on the season, .438 on-base percentage for Johnson. Playing first base, runners go, and no play as Cordero slides safely into third and Bittner up to second. So runners, both runners in scoring position. Johnson, great contact hitter. And a strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike to Johnson. Johnson well back in the box, foot right on that back line. Hedvig with the delivery out of the stretch. There's contact. That's a base hit up the middle. It's going to bring in Cordero, and held up is Bittner at third. So 1-0 now for Lisbon. So runners at the corners. Got the corners with 2 outs. Bringing up Elliott Welter. So base hit for Johnson with 2 outs. So 2 out rally starting up here for Lisbon. Elliott Welter batting .373 on the season. Johnson, good secondary. Bittner wearing the number 1 jersey goes back to third. So 1-0 Lisbon lead. And a swing and a miss. Foul back behind home plate. Just caught at the top of it. So 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs to Welter. Or 2 outs for Lisbon. The delivery outside, bounces off the turf behind batter's box on the left-hand side. 2 balls, 1 strike. Now to Elliott Welter. Hedvig out of the stretch and hits the outside corner. Like a changeup from Hedvig to Welter. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runners at the corners. And Johnson takes off. There's a hit. That's popped up to left field, and that's going to drive in a run. Johnson's getting greedy and missed the relay from left field. So that was a Olven to Butenhoff, and they just missed Johnson. Johnson pulling the caboose behind the train and made it into third base. And he's safe. So runners now at the corners once again. Welter with the RBI. Johnson's over at third. Welter's on first. So runners back at the corner. They're back at the corners. 2 outs. This is Cruz Ranke. Ranke batting .257 on the season. 1 ball, no strikes to Ranke. That's outside. It's outside corner. Bounces just in front of the plate. For 2 balls and no strikes. Here to Cruz Ranke. Elliott Welter with the single and the RBI. And that's a well-hit ball by Ranke, and that's popped up, though, the center or left fielder underneath it for the third out. So another F7 here for Ranke, but the Broncos with 2 runs across as they'll head to the top of the second inning. Lisbon leads by a score of 2-0. This is YourLiveEvent.com.
23 pitches.
Cause you don't have to go alone. I will bring you through the
Pretty sure.
storm. I will lift you up. No, you're not on your own.
Is there?
I will be the light that carries you through the storm. I will lift you up.
It's safe to say we have it pretty
Nothing
good
but positive
in the great North
thoughts.
Dakota area.
Positive
Growing
thoughts.
Sugar beets, making sugar, bringing a little sweetness to the world.
What's
Every
that?
day, American Crystal Sugar produces sweet
Oh,
products
on
people love,
Monday we
and a
didn't have
place
any
we love
sound
to call home.
for about
It's
the
a
first
thing
3
we like to
innings.
call the Sweet Life, and we're proud to share it with you. American Crystal Sugar's Drayton facility has recently
and Enderlin was
started
winning.
offering a $4 per hour shift differential for
There's
rotating
Gator in that
shifts.
cooler if you
Go
want
to
one.
AmericanCrystalCareers.com for more information.
Since its beginning, the Central Cast Booster Club has generated and helped sustain fan interest in the men's and women's athletic programs at Central Cast High School. Through the years, that mission has broadened to also enhance the youth programs throughout the community. For more information, search Central Cast Booster Club on Facebook or email centralcastboosterclub@gmail.com. That's centralcastboosterclub@gmail.com. Go Squirrels!
All right, welcome back. YourLiveEvent.com. We're at the top of the second inning. That's a well-hit ball to left center field. Howard's not able to get to it. That was a hit by Oliver Hegvik, a double, as Lisbon and Howard get the ball back in. So double right away as Oak Grove has been able to make contact here on Hoffer.
Shortstop, number 9, Jack Bjornsson.
So runner on second, leadoff man on once again for Oak Grove. Hoffer, the left-hander. Oak Grove with the double there from Hegvik. Hegvik, courtesy runner in the game. This is the time to pick on that courtesy runner a little bit. Find a little more inexperienced base runner out there usually. And a bunt put down. Hoffer fields it, spins around, throws to first for the out. So good place by Hoffer, but that advances the runner to third with 1 out. So runner, the pinch runner, or the courtesy runner, I should say, in there for Hegvik over there at third base. So a sack bunt for Bjornsson advanced the runner for the first out. And that brings up Jack Dietz, the catcher. So Hoffer ahead in the count now. 0-1 count here to Dietz. Hoffer takes a look over at third. The delivery curveball inside for ball 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. We have 1 out. Runner over on third. the leadoff man in the second inning here for Oak Grove, the top of the second, on board with a double. That was Oliver Hegvick. Hit it over the head of Jaden Howard. Howard was on his horse, just couldn't get to it. Talked about the winds. Forecasted winds are 17 miles an hour to the south-southeast. That flagpole here on LFD Field, the flag is hanging vertical down the pole, so no wind. The tree line, and that's going to be a play to home. And it was in time, but the throw not handled by Lyons, and the run scores. We have a 2-1 ball game with one out. So it was a good play by Lyons. So Dietz with another courtesy runner coming in. The run will score. He gets the RBI.
DH number 7, Foster Lord.
So the sack bunt from Bjornsson got the Hegvick over to third. The play at home not in time. The home and one play. The Broncos not able to convert at home. That brings up Foster Lord. That's a high pop-up on the right field side. Cordero is going to camp underneath it. Cords the second out. So that's out number 2. The fly out to the second baseman. 2 outs. Runner on first. Brings up Beck Olven. Olven, the second baseman. There's pickoff move by Hoffer. Not in time. So Hoffer takes a peek now. Just a one-step lead over there for the base runner, Jack Dietz. And we have an 0-1 count. That's a strike to Olven. So 1 ball, 1 strike to Beck Olven of Oak Grove. So Hoffer on the mound, 3-1 record, 2.194 ERA. Swing and a miss for strike 2 from Beck Olven. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, your count. Oak Grove plating a run. So Oak Grove with the run. Two balls, 2 strikes. RBI for Jack Dietz, knocking in Hegvick. That's a swing and a miss for strike 3, strikeout swinging. And the K, now 2 of them in the game for Jackson Hoffer, pitching 2 innings, giving up 1 run. And that'll bring us to the bottom of the second inning. Lisbon coming up to bat. And we have the bottom of the order coming up with Jackson Hoffer and Jake Lyons. Then back to the top with Cam Cordero, the leadoff hitter. So Hoffer, Lyons, and Cordero due up for Lisbon at the end, the bottom of the second inning. We'll step away, take over from our sponsors. You're watching YourLiveEvent.com.
22 pitch.
The Rumble on the Red, presented by Ellingson Companies and Gerdau Metals Recycling, is coming to West Fargo, North Dakota. The World of Outlaws Mass Energy Drink Sprint Cars come to the Red River Valley Speedway on Saturday, May 31st. Tickets are available now at slspromotions.com or by calling 815-344-2023.
Hunter Insurance Agency is a locally owned full-service agency providing protection and coverage in a number of different areas. Hunter Insurance Agency offers multi-peril crop insurance, crop hail insurance, and farm insurance for buildings and equipment. Plus, they offer home, auto, life, and business insurance. For more information, go online to hunterinsuranceagency.com or stop in and speak with Johnny Jorgensen at Hunter Insurance Agency. Find them at 201 Main Street, Hunter.
The World of Outlaws late models return.
Hey, welcome back. YourLiveEvent.com. As we're here from our Farmers Union Insurance David Bergman Agency broadcast booth at Lisbon Fire Department Field in Sandaga Park, Lisbon, North Dakota. Up there in the Bank North scoreboard, the Lisbon Broncos are up 2-1 here at the bottom of the second inning. That brings up Jackson Hoffer. So Lisbon getting on the scoreboard, on the Bank North scoreboard in the bottom of the first inning, scoring 2 runs. So Cordero and Bittner both come across for 2 runs for Lisbon in the bottom of the first. And then the top of the second, Hegvik was able to get across for a run for Oak Grove. Oak Grove making contact, getting base runners on. Leadoff hitter aboard both times for Oak Grove. I should say so far in the game through these 2 innings. As we are in the bottom of the second inning. Got to get this cleaned up. So bottom of the second inning, no out. Broncos with Jackson Hoffer leading things off in the bottom of the second. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Hoffer. Hegvik on the mound, 0-2 record, 9.100 ERA. And that's a strike for a full count. Loads him up here now on Hoffer. Hoffer on the year batting, .214 for Lisbon. Hegvik the righty out of the stretch. And Hoffer draws the walk on the payoff pitch. So the walk to Hoffer sends him down to first.
Third baseman, number 5, Jacob.
So it looks like that is the first walk given up by Hegvik. He's given up 13 on the season. So Broncos now nobody out, runner on first. That's Hoffer. Hoffer has a little bit of speed. Hegvik takes a peek, working out of the stretch. It's a bunt and an attempted bunt by Lyons, not able to get it down. So Jake Lyons with the attempted bunt for a strike. One thing Lisbon seems to have some issues with is their short game with that, being able to lay down a bunt. It's a throw, just a throw over. I won't call it a pickoff attempt because it's kind of a lazy throw over to first base. Hoffer back in time. So 1 strike on Jake Lyons, the number 9 hitter for Lisbon. Another bunt attempt by Lyons. Lyons reaching out at it. So no balls, 2 strikes, or 0-2 count to Jake Lyons, the number 9 hitter, batting .231 on the season, .385 on base percentage. Playing third base. Lyons had a great play in that second inning, or top of the second. That's a pop-up by Lyons, first base side. First baseman's calling for it. And new life, should say, for Lyons on the 0-2 count. Popped it up to the first base side and not able to get to it. Broncos with the 2-1 lead. Hoffer still at first base. Nobody out. And the delivery, that's well hit to the left field. Backs up, camps under it for the out. The first out there on the F7.
Second baseman, number 2, Cameron Cordero.
Hoffer had to stay put. So 1 out, runner on, and that brings up the top of the order now. Cam Cordero here in the top or bottom of the second inning for Lisbon. Cordero hit by a pitch in the first inning. First pitch, he fouls it off for strike 1.
Yeah, with just 1 pitch, Brent. I would like to see Coach Bittner maybe hit and run here with 1 out.
And hits him again. So hit by pitch twice for Cordero. So tried the curveball, not able to get it to break. So just struggling with this curveball right now. So that puts runners on first and second here for Hegvik. Lisbon with runners on first and second. Hit by pitch is Cordero. So that draws Hoffer to second. And there's no pinch runner or no runner in there for Hoffer. Looks like he's going to run the bases as the starting pitcher, and that's Eli Lyons, the number 2 batter up for Lisbon with the ball.
My guess is we'll see a courtesy runner here with 2 outs if he's still on base.
And that's outside for another ball, so 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 count here to Eli Lyons. So Hegvik takes the sign. And the delivery on the 0-2, or I should say the 2-0 count. Another ball for the 3-0. Looks like Lions will take all the way and load things up. Unless Hegvik can deliver a strike here. So 1 out for Lisbon. Runners on first and second. That's high for ball 4 here to Lions. Lions with the .529 on base percentage. Lions is on. Bases are loaded with 1 out and Bittner up to bat. So that's the man. One of the hitters, at least for Oak Grove, you don't want to see to step to the plate is Jordan Bittner. Bittner on the season batting .537.
Yeah, it looks like Eli Lyons is going to stay in and run right now too. So both are on base, both pitcher and catcher on base. You usually see a courtesy runner here in high school ball, but
yeah, you might be like, kind of like you had talked about, waiting for that second out.
Like you said earlier, usually you get more inexperienced guys in as your courtesy runners. You want your starting guys in as long as possible,
Yeah, so we're going to go. We'll step away, take a word from our sponsors as we do have a pitching change here for Oak Grove as they're bringing in a new pitcher. We'll have those lineup changes for you after a break here on yourlevevent.com.
Ada, Minnesota, June 28th. Ada Building Center LLC start to finish showdown. Presented by R&J Broadcasting Incorporated. Enjoy the experience. Nationwide top 10 experience last year. Let's make it number 1 this year. World of Outlaws, late models. Ada Building Center LLC start to finish showdown. Presented by R&J Broadcasting Incorporated. Tickets now available. ncraceway.com.
Farmers, are you expanding, upgrading, or want to automate? Visit with the experienced staff at Hope Electric to learn about the latest electrical systems and the newest technologies that they have developed to make your operation more efficient. Get a custom system in place with features like iPad truck loading and remote view grain storage, touchscreen controls, hazard monitoring systems, and wireless cellular cameras to protect your assets. Hope Electric, serving the agricultural and commercial industry since 1978. Visit hopeelectric.com or call 701-945-2460.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
All right, welcome back. yourlevevent.com. After that pitching change, Butenhoff comes in to pitch for Oak Grove. That first pitch is a ball to Jordan Bittner. Bittner, the number 3 hitter for Lisbon, batting .537 with 1 home run on the season. So 1 ball and no strikes. Runners loaded up here on the bases. And just missing high once again to Bittner. So 2 balls, no strikes, 2-0 count, 1 out.
This is exactly who the Broncos want up in this situation. Every single time you'd love to have Jordan Bittner come up with the bases loaded.
Yeah, Jordan will just look for a pitch that he can handle here with that 2-0 count. That's his pitch, and he sends it to center field. And diving play by the center fielder gets by him. That's going to bring home Hoffer. Cordero. And held up is Lyons. So 2 runs across. Bittner with the double.
Left fielder number 7, Jaden Halbert.
Really, really good effort by Oak Grove center fielder.
Yeah, definitely.
Right off the tip, but great effort.
Yeah, Meidinger made a play on the ball, so if he didn't, it was going to go over his head, and it could have ended up, either an inside the Parker or a triple for Bittner, and Lyons scoring. So he's able to knock it down and stop the momentum of the ball at least. So Meidinger kind of hanging his head out there, but that was a great play. Great attempt there. Good effort.
Yeah, it did everything he could. I mean, it was either going to be caught or he was going to slow it down. There wasn't a lot of in between on that play.
And a wild pitch here, and that'll bring another run across. So Lyons across the plate. And that'll put Bittner on third.
Yeah, Jared, my mother ordered that off Amazon when I first started doing this 5 years ago for $20.
So Lisbon with 3 runs across, 2 outs, or 1 out, 2-0 count. And that looked like it hit the handle on the bat, but that was another wild pitch. I don't know what it skimmed off of. 3-0 count. Another run comes across with Bittner with his double, then advanced on 2 wild pitches over to third and then home. So the base is now cleared. Lisbon up 6-1. Here, Butenhoff in relief. Hegvik in this Dakota Heritage Bank in-game update. Just looking at Hegvik's stats, he pitched 1 1/3 innings, giving up 2 hits, 2 runs, and 1 walk, along with 3 hit by pitches. And Hegvik comes in relief after, or I should say Butenhoff comes in after Hegvik loaded up the bases. So those runs will be charged now to Hegvik. And runner goes. There's Howard. Howard thought about taking third. The throw not in time here to Howard.
I know the ball 4 pitch to Howard was wasn't close, Brent. But do you think he had the green light there? I mean, he's the team leader in home runs.
I would say not. No. I would say with the way the game's going right now, I'd say he probably didn't. So we do have a runner on second. That's Howard with 1 out. 6-1 is your score. This is Colton Johnson up. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Johnson. Howard over at second. Good sized lead over there for Howard. That's down in the dirt for another ball. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. And that's a pop-up to the right fielder. The right fielder not able to get to it. It's going to be a base hit over there for Colton Johnson. And the runner held up on the relay over there from Winter. So Winter able to get the ball back in rather quickly. Johnson with the base hit.
Center fielder, number 16, Elliott Wilson.
So runners at the corner. Howard at third. Johnson at first with 1 out. Your score 6-1. Bottom of the second inning brings up Elliott Welter for Lisbon. 373 batting average. Playing center field. Had a single his first time up here for Welter. And swing and a miss. Pulled his head on that one. So big swing by Welter. Pulled his head around looking down the foul line in left field. So the 0-1 count. Butenhoff takes a look at first. That's a little chopper, slow chopper there to third base. We'll see if the throw's in time and scoops it up for the out, it looks like. So called out. Runner advanced there. Johnson over to second. So runners at second and third with 2 outs. So that's the 5-3 put out there on the fielder's choice. So Johnson is at second with the single. That's popped up behind home plate. The catcher's got a beat on it. Going to the backstop off the roof of the grandstands behind home plate.
Colonel ball to the possession stand.
Good play by third baseman Hedvig. You know, he sometimes you get players that they struggle a little bit on the mound and they go play the field and make an error, but he bounced right back and made a good throw to first. And
yeah, did the right thing, charged it.
Didn't try to get the out at second and rush things.
Yep, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. And that's a well-hit
Crushed
ball there for
right.
Ranke. Right field pops it up. It's in the air. And another flyout for Ranke. So Ranke making some good connection, but this time an F9. His last time up, it was a flyout to left field.
Oak Grove 1.
So the good part of that is Ranke's able to hit it to the opposite field and also pull the ball. He's at an F7 and an F9, but it records the third out as we will head to the top of the third inning. Lisbon with the 6-1 lead on your LevEvent.com.
Fast broadband internet, telephone, and cable TV to residents in this region, including Halstead, Shelley, Neilsville, Climax, Fisher, Bigland, Gentilly in Minnesota, and Hillsborough, Caledonia, Gardner, and Argosville, North Dakota. Serving the area residents since 1904, Halstead Telephone continues to create a bright future for this region using 100% fiber optic technology. Service plans offer flexibility and choices, and there's local support personnel ready to help. Contact Halstead Telephone Company today.
Hey, welcome back. Your LevEvent.com as we are here at Lisbon Fire Department Field in San Diego Park in Lisbon, North Dakota. North Dakota Class B Region 1 tournament, first round action. So the tournament format this year is the first round is played at the higher seeds home field. And this happens to be LFD Field in Lisbon, North Dakota, between the Oak Grove Rovers and the Lisbon Broncos. We are now the top of the third inning. So top of three brings up the top of the order. No Meidinger for Oak Grove. So just go back in the field for Lisbon right now. They have Hoffer on the mound. Lyons is catching. At first is Colton Johnson playing second. Cam Cordero. Jordan Bittner at shortstop. Jake Lyons at third, and that's a chopper there. Roller to Bittner. Fields it charging and makes the out. Great play by Bittner.
He's made them hard charge plays look easy all season, Brent.
So the 6-3 put out there. Bittner with the sure-handed glove and play there. Nice play by Bittner to record the first out. Meidinger in that first inning had a well-hit ball to left field down the line. Tried to stretch it into a double when it was thrown out on the 7-6-4. Thrown out at second base. Leading things off. Made contact again, but this time nice play by Bittner charging in for the 6-3 put out for Bittner. So one out. Here's Hoffer throwing to Grayson Doctor. The number 2 hitter, Grayson Doctor, with a single in the first inning. His first time up. Also playing first base here for Doctor. So you count 1 ball, 1 strike. And that's high for another ball, 2 balls and 1 strike. So in the field, or in the outfield for Lisbon, we have Jaden Howard playing left field, center field, Elliott Welter, and Cruz Ranke in right field. That's your defense for Lisbon. That ball well hit left center field. This is a gapper, so this one's going to roll. Welter's going to field it. He's going to try to get it in, throw it to second, not in time, and a double, stand-up double for Grayson Doctor. So the one out stand-up double for Doctor. He's at second base. He has 2 hits in the game for Oak Grove. So a single in the first inning for Grayson Doctor. Now a double in the third inning. As that brings up Zach Winter, left-handed hitter. Winter sends this one to right field down the first base line, and that's foul. He tattooed that. That was a nice hit there by Winter.
Yeah, I had a lot of extra velocity behind that one.
Yeah, he
kept that fair. He was going to either be
he was pulling that
walking around the bases or was going to be rolling for a while.
Here's delivery from Hoffer. It skips it in front of the plate for ball. So 1 ball, 1 strike to Zach Winter. That runner on second is Grayson Doctor with 1 out. 6-1 is your score here for your Dakota Heritage Bank in-game update in your Bank North scoreboard. 6-1 Lisbon here in the top of the third inning. Oak Grove has had the bats going in the game. They've picked up 2 hits in the first inning, another hit in the second, and now a double by Grayson Doctor in the third inning. You're counting now 2 balls and 2 strikes to Zach Winter.
Yeah, their Doctor just took off before Hoffer even was ready, and he had it stole. I mean, there was no – Lions made a good throw, but he wasn't going to get him.
So Grayson Doctor at third on the steal, and that's a base hit. Another run comes across. There's Doctor with the easy trot to home after he stole third. And a base hit. Runner on first with 1 out. So 6-2 is your score.
Pitcher number 17, Elliott.
Oak Grove just not going to roll over after that big inning by Lisbon. That big bottom of the second by Lisbon as they're put another man on base with 1 out. And a strike here to Elliott Butenhoff. Butenhoff now pitching for Oak Grove. He's the number 4 hitter. So 1 strike there.
The Broncos need Hoffer to just limit the damage here and give up that 1 run and get out of this inning now.
Yeah, so swing and miss for the 0-2 count here to Elliott Butenhoff. Not a big lead, just a 1-step lead there with that left-handed pitcher, Jackson Hoffer. That's fouled off. Staying alive is Elliott Butenhoff making contact. Yeah, and the pickoff attempt back in time. Over there is Zach Winter. Winter with the single and the RBI, with the RBI single with 1 out. 0-2 count to Elliott Butenhoff. Butenhoff brush back. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Hoffer coming inside, brushes back. Butenhoff a little bit off the plate. And the delivery, and that's swung on and fouled back. So still 1 ball and 2 strikes to Elliott Butenhoff with 1 out.
Good at bat here by Butenhoff so far. He went down 0-2, and he could have easily just taken 1 and been done, but he's now fouled off a couple and taken a ball. And
he's going to extend this inning now as he hits a nice single here to left field down the line. Howard comes in, advances the runner. So a great at bat for Butenhoff. He was down 1 ball, 2 strikes, fouled a couple pitches off, and won that battle with Hoffer. And now we have runners at first and second with 1 out. That brings up Oliver Hegvik. Hegvik now at third base, and you do have a courtesy runner coming in. So Zach Winter at second, Elliott Butenhoff at first with the pinch runner coming in for Butenhoff. Pinch runner, or the courtesy runner in place of Butenhoff. Butenhoff pitching on the mound, or in relief. And that's the 1 ball, no strikes here to Hegvik. So the 1-0 count. Hoffer checks the bases. Delivery and a strike, the outside corner. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Runners on first and second. With 1 out. Hoffer checks the bases. Takes another peek at second. And that's high for ball 2. So 2 balls and 1 strike here. Lisbon up in this one by a score of 6-2. Gotta get the right inning up there. So this is the top of the third, and that ball well hit the center field. Welter's chasing it down. So left center, runner's gonna round third, coming for home. The play, and not in time. So Elliott Welter kind of held up his throw a little bit, double pumped it, and that gave the runner Zach Winter time to come around and score on the base hit by Oliver Hegvik. So now runners back at first and second. Another run across. 6-3 is the score. And that's fouled off. This is Jack Bjornson, the shortstop. First pitch, he swings and follows it back. So the 0-1 count here to Hoffer. He's going to check second. The delivery out of the stretch, and that's just high to Bjornson. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, good rally here by Oak Grove after the Broncos scored 4 in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, so the one
cut the
out.
lead a little bit.
1-out rally, having some good at-bats, putting the metal on the ball, just battling Hoffer. Lisbon a little bit on their heels right now on the field. Hoffer on the 2-1 delivery. That's fouled off. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Bjornson. Bjornson, last time up in the second inning, hit the sacrifice bunt. He was thrown out at first off the fielder's choice. He's swinging away this time, falls another one off. So 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, when he bunted last time, I think if Hoffer would have took 1 step and looked at third base, I think they could have had him, but he made the right play. I mean, the guy ended up scoring, but...
Yeah, take the out. So 3 balls, loads it up. Payoff pitch coming up here. Runner on first. Here to Jack Bjornson. Hoffer checks first. The delivery, and that's swung on, and the base is occupied over at first. It was dropped by Walter off the big swing by Bjornson, but the base at first is occupied, so the runner can't advance, and he's out with the strikeout. So that's the second out.
Yeah, Bjornson there helped Hoffer out a little bit.
So we have 2 outs, top of the third inning. Runners at first and second. That's swung on. That's a pop-up here by Jack Dietz. And Lyons here on the first base side makes the out.
Good play by Eli Lyons to end the inning.
And that's a fly out to the catcher here on the first base side and records the third out of the top of the third inning. But some damage done by Oak Grove as they're able to knock 2 runs across with Grayson Doctor and Zach Winter coming across for the 2-run top of the third inning for Oak Grove. The Grovers now close the gap here. 6-3 with Lisbon. Lisbon coming up to bat here at the bottom of the third as they are back to the top of the batting order is what I have. So it looks like we'll have Cam Cordero coming back up here to lead things off. Cam Cordero, Lyons, and Bittner is what I have. So
yeah, it looks like the Broncos batted 9 in that bottom of the second there when they scored 4.
Yep, so the top of the order coming back up for Lisbon as we will head into a little station break here with a word from our sponsors. Come back for the bottom of the third inning on yourliveevent.com.
Worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ. 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
At Abra Auto Body and Glass.
All right, welcome back. This is yourliveevent.com. This is Brent Dick along with my sidekick today, Troy Jorgensen, on the camera. We're doing a little color commentating for me today. Yes, we did have that starter, the bottom of the third order for Lisbon. That's going to be Jackson Hoffer, Jake Lyons, and then to the top of the order with Cam Cordero. So Cruz Yankee, the number 7 hitter, recording that fly out to right field, is recording the third out of the bottom of the second inning for Lisbon. So this is the bottom of the third.
And the first pitch to Hoffer is bounced for ball 1.
That's Butenhoff with the delivery, and that bounces for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes to Jackson Hoffer.
Once again, thank you, Brent, and your live event for the opportunity to do this again.
All right, and 2 balls, all 3, or that was, so 2 balls and 1 strike. Get that right. Here to Hoffer. Hoffer throws left, bats right. Just up a little bit in the box. That's strike 2 down the middle. Two balls.
Help yourself out here, buddy. You got to get on base.
2 balls, 2 strikes. That loads him up now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here to Hoffer. Butenhoff on the mound. Go over defensively. Hope for Oak Grove. That's popped up behind home plate. The catcher, Jack Dietz, makes the play. We're here for Jack Dietz. So the fly out, pop up to the catcher. Here for Hoffer, records the first out. In the bottom of the 3rd for Lisbon. I'll bring up the number 9 batter, Jake Lyons, batting .231 on the season. Playing third base for Lisbon.
Crucial inning here, Brent. The Broncos got to add on after Oak Grove scored 2 in the top of the inning.
Yeah, Butenhoff kind of started out a little bit shaky there when he came in relief, giving up a walk and some hits to Lisbon. But then after that, he's settled down here nicely in the bottom of the 3rd inning, throwing strikes. Now the 0-2 count here to Jake Lyons.
You know, it's always easier to come in fresh inning versus coming in the middle with runners on and everything and trying to get out of it.
Yep, high pressure situation. We got bases loaded up. And that's a swing and a miss. Strikeout swinging, so the strikeout for Butenhoff. That records the 2nd out. So far, Lisbon, no response to those 2 runs put on the board in the top of the 3rd inning by Oak Grove. Brings up the top of the lineup here, Cam Cordero, batting .303 on the season. Or excuse me, .383 on the season. That first pitch is outside for a ball.
Yeah, if you're Butenhoff, you want to come right after Cordero. You know the saying, 2 out walks always come around to score.
And another ball, so our score 2-0. Count, 2 outs. Bottom of the 3rd inning, and now 3 balls and no strikes. Cordero likely taken all the way here.
Yeah, this one's got to be a strike, especially with Lyons and Bittner up. The next 2 batters, you don't want to have Cordero on base for those guys.
And Butenhoff takes a big deep breath and throws the strike down the middle. So on the give me pitch, Butenhoff able to get a strike in there for the 3-1 count with 2 outs. And that's outside for ball 4. Cordero on with 2 outs, goes to first.
Catcher number 14.
And that'll bring up Eli Lyons.
Eli Lyons.
Lyons batting .385. So that was right. So sorry, Cordero, just correction on Cordero batting .303. Lyons is batting .385. Your catcher.
My guess is if you don't see Cordero go in the first pitch, then he's probably not going to go until about 2 strikes because you want your.
Butenhoff takes a look. He's on the rubber. Now sets. In the delivery, Cordero takes off the fake bunt. The throw down, not in time. Cordero in there now in scoring position for Cordero with the stolen base.
And that's the reason you can't walk Cordero there with 2 outs because he was going to be. We all know he was going to be off on the first pitch. So now you got Lyons and Bittner up with runners in scoring position. Not a good situation for Oak Grove.
So 1 ball, no strikes, and that's well hit down the left field line. And waving in is Cordero coming around to score. Lyons rounds first, holds up, and jogs back. So base hit by Eli Lyons. That's his favorite spot. If he makes connection, he's going to pull it down the left field line and knocks in Cordero.
Brent, I would probably say that's got to be the hardest hit ball of the game so far. That thing was crushed.
So here's Bittner up to bat. And a run across for Lisbon. There is 2 outs. And as predicted, that walk given up there, Cordero comes around to score. So you score now 7-3 with the single by Lions. Bittner with the .537 batting average and the 1 home run on the year. Hit by pitch in the first inning and a double in the second. And that's the 1 ball, 1 strike count now to Jordan Bittner.
Grayson Lyons into a courtesy run there for Eli Lyons. So
Butenhoff with the delivery, throws a curveball, a little off speed. Catches Bittner with the off-speed pitch. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here for Bittner to take the sign.
That was a pretty nasty curveball or slider or whatever he throws.
From Coach Brad Bittner over there down the third baseline. Bittner steps back in. Butenhoff takes a peek over at Grayson Lyons. That bounces it off the turf in front of home plate. For ball 2, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bittner steps back in. Works up just a little bit in the box there. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and that's off the turf in a wild pitch as it gets past the catcher. Hit about dead center in that left-handed batter's box. And that moves Grayson Lyons, running for cousin Eli, up to second base. So now a full count after working ahead on Jordan Bittner. Or Butenhoff battling with Bittner. That gives up another walk. So Bittner goes to first on the walk.
Left fielder, number
So
7,
2 outs.
Jaden Howard.
And the start of a rally going for Lisbon.
Butenhoff's kind of taking the route that Jackson Hoffer did in the top of the inning. Got 2 outs real quick, and now it's kind of I shouldn't say gone downhill, but
it's just the game of baseball. It's how baseball games, just, kind of the nuances of a baseball game. Give up that walk. 2-out walk. Cordero comes around to score.
Oh, sick play by third base coach Brad Bittner there.
As he bare hands it. So that brings up Jaden Howard. Howard on the season, .388 with 4 home runs. Cleanup hitter for Lisbon. Runners on first and second with 2 outs. And now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Butenhoff doing a good job once again working in front of the batter. Jordan Bittner on first, has the sliding mitt on. Grayson Lyons on second. And that's well hit down the left field line. This is going to bring around run number 8 as Lyons, he's being waved in. But he rounds third. He kind of holds up and takes a peek down the left field line.
Yeah, Grayson there, he hooked up instead of unhooking the plow, he hooked the plow up around third base.
He did.
First baseman, number 22, Colton.
And that's a double, stand-up double there for Jaden Howard.
Coach Bittner might have waved around his son Jordan there if Lyons would have maybe been a little faster there around third base.
Yeah, just taking the sign to sending him home, and Lyons kind of held up, like you said, and kind of hitched up the plow and stopped him about mid-stride as he was rounded third, took a peek back, and that kind of held Jordan Bittner up from second. As we do have another pitching change coming up, and we will step away, take a word from our sponsors, and get you that defensive change and pitching change here for Oak Grove, as Broncos are now up by a score of 8-3 in the bottom of the third.
vehicle gets the best standard of care to get it back on the road as quickly as possible. Lonnie and his team are some of the most highly trained in the industry. With state-of-the-art technology and superior products, your vehicle will leave in great condition. With their drive-in claims area, the process is smooth and easy. Let Abra Auto Body and Glass in Grand Forks provide you and your vehicle with premium care and attention. Open 8 to 5:30 Monday through Friday. Abra Auto Body and Glass of Grand Forks.
Take your softball or baseball skills to the next level with personalized instruction from the professional staff at the Ball Yard. Their mission is to provide area players, young and old, the opportunity to improve their skills in a professional level facility and to provide a high level of instruction to youth players to help them achieve their goals at the Ball Yard. Come and visit the one place in the Fargo-Moorhead area where it's always summer. For more information, go online to fmballyard.com. That's fmballyard.com.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. Three, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
Growers, prepare your fields and yields against the wet conditions for 2025 and beyond with a...
Hey, welcome back here, liveevent.com. Pitching change, so Wendelby for Oak Grove comes in to pitch. Butenhoff goes over to second, so that's your defensive and pitching change. For Oak Grove, that first pitch by Wendelby is in there for a ball, so the 1-0 count here to Colton Johnson. Johnson with 2 singles in the game. Batting number 5 for Lisbon. .361 batting average. Looks like he has a .438 on-base percentage. That's fouled off. 1 ball, 1 strike to Johnson. Lisbon with runners on third and second.
RBI single in his last at bat. Is that correct, Brent?
Yeah, that is correct.
Right up the middle, I believe. Broncos could use a same situation and score 2 runs this time.
Yep, 2 balls and 1 strike now to Colton Johnson. He's just kind of a little different pitching delivery than what we've seen today out of Wendelby.
Yeah, pretty high leg kick on this kid.
He does have a pretty high leg kick. So 3 balls and 1 strike here to Colton Johnson. And chases the high fastball here for Johnson on the 3-1 pitch. Now loads the count up. 3-2, 3 balls, 2 strikes to Johnson.
He even knew he shouldn't have swung at that. He was tapping himself on the helmet saying, why am I swinging at that?
And the 3-2 delivery, the payoff pitch, that's hit to shallow center field and not able to make the play. Out there's Meidinger. That's going to bring a run across. 2 runs come across, so Howard from second. And the Broncos plate 2 more runs. Score now 10-3. The 2-0 rally continues for Lisbon.
Center fielder Meidinger really wound up and like he was going to try and whip it home. And I thought we were going to have a play at the plate there for a second, Brent, and he decided against it.
So we'll give Johnson the single on that. That was a diving play by the center fielder, not able to corral it. The big swing by Elliott Welter, number 6 hitter in the batting order, batting .373 on the season. So Howard and Bittner both come in to score. Bittner with the walk and Jaden Howard with the double. That's hit by Welter to left field. He bombs that one. That's a high fly ball. And a running catch for the 3rd out. So that was a fly out to the left fielder. So the F7 for Welter, and that's going to end the inning for the Broncos. But they do some damage as they will put across 3 more runs for Lisbon. Score now 10-3 in favor of the Lisbon Broncos.
Yeah, I think the wind knocked that ball down for Welter. It looked like it was going out there, and it seemed like it slowed up real quick.
All right, this is your liveevent.com. We'll step away with as we head to the top of the 4th inning. And coming up, looks like for Oak Grove, as we have the 8, 9, and then top of the order. So we have Lord, Olvin, and Meidinger coming up to bat for the Oak Grove Grovers. And Hoffer still in pitching for Lisbon Broncos, as we'll step away for a word from our sponsors.
Excavating out of Mayville. Drain tiling will improve and increase your yields and land values for years to come. Chad's Excavating provides free, detailed estimates, and with over 40 years of combined success, they provide professional installation and service. Call Chad today to prepare for your future and any questions that you might have. That's Chad's Excavating out of Mayville, helping farmers grow.
Hey, welcome back here, liveevent.com, as we're now to the top of the fourth inning. Hoffer still in pitching for Lisbon. This is your number 8 hitter. That's a well-hit ball up the gut of the Broncos defense. Right over the second base there for Foster Lord for a single. Oak Grove able to make contact with another base hit for Foster Lord. So Lord on first. There's no outs. And now that's the first out, going for the double play. Not in time. So one out. And there will be a runner on first.
Good play by catcher Lyons there.
So that was Olven
Center fielder, number 5.
on the fielder's choice there to first base. Foster Lord is out. Going into second.
Yeah, that bunt went right up to Lyons in fair territory. One step and throw and got the out at second.
So that brings up the top of the order. Noah Meidinger playing center field. Meidinger with the hit in the first inning, tried to stretch it into a double. He was thrown out at second. And then with the 6-3 put out in the third inning. This one's a high fly ball to center field. Elliott Welter calls for it. And he makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Runner stays. So that's Beck Olven. So the fly out to center fielder, the F8. With two outs, runner on first. Here's Hoffer. Fastball. Misses outside. To Grayson Doctor. Doctor, the first baseman. So 1-0 count from the lefty, Jackson Hoffer. Hoffer takes a peek at first. And out of the stretch. In there for a strike on the inside. So 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs, runner on first. That's high for ball 2. So 2-1 count here to Grayson Doctor.
Got to give credit to the Grovers. They've had a lot of runners on base in this game, even though they're down.
That's a curveball by Hoffer. Just out in front of it is Grayson Doctor. Able to get a little piece of it. Follows it behind home plate for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Even in the count. Hoffer looks at first. The delivery outside for ball 3. Loads him up. Payoff pitch coming. Hoffer just the cap. Steps back on the mound.
Runner will be off with the pitch.
And the full count delivery, and he walks him. So Doctor
Right fielder, number 15, Zach Winter.
with the walk goes to first. So runners on first and second, 2 outs.
In his last at-bat, Winter ripped a foul ball that was just scorched.
So Beck Olven on second. Off the fielder's choice, off the bunt. Where Foster Lord was thrown out at second. And then the second out here with your in-game update was Noah Meidinger, the leadoff hitter, flew out to center fielder, Elliott Welter. And that's inside for ball. So 2 balls and no strikes here to Zach Winter. To Zach Winter. Winter playing right field. And it looks like Coach Brad Bittner coming in for a chat. This is his first visit to the mound in the game. First of the inning. Talking things over with his pitcher and his infield as they break up the huddle. Takes the slow walk back to the dugout. Here's Hoffer with 2 outs, 2 balls and no strikes.
With 63 pitches so far, I don't know what the rules are, but I'm guessing he's probably done for the tournament if Coach Bittner lets him go any longer. Probably trying to get as many innings out of him as he can versus having to use somebody else.
Yeah, so the 3-0 pitch to Hoffer, from Hoffer to Winter, and that's down the first baseline. So he takes on the 3-0, sends it foul. So now 3-1's the count here. Got nothing to lose on that. You're down 10-3. So the left-handed pitcher, Hoffer, with the delivery out of the stretch, that's popped up to right field, shallow right field. Cordero's out and makes the catch. Ranke coming in hot, but Cordero calls him off for the 3rd out. So the fly out to the second baseman for the 3rd out. They're stranding 2 runners and nobody across as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning with Lisbon coming up to bat. And that'll bring us, looks like, to Cruz Ranke. So Cruz Ranke, the number 7 hitter, will lead things off for Lisbon in the bottom of the 4th inning with that 7-point lead for the Lisbon Broncos. After the break, we'll be back for that bottom of the 4th inning on yourliveevent.com.
Partnership is a way of life here in the Northland. It's about pitching in to help our neighbors, making lending decisions locally, honoring long-term commitments to farmers, Main Street businesses, teams, schools, and rural communities. We're more than just a bank. We're a community partner, working constantly and diligently to enrich the lives of everyone we serve. Bank North, always true.
There's a new inventory of trailers at Bloomfield Enterprises of Hillsboro. You can see the latest inventory online at BloomfieldTrailers.com. Bloomfield Enterprises has a full line of Big Tex trailers. Big Tex has affordable and versatile utility trailers for all your jobs. Big Tex has a full line of products from ATV trailers to gooseneck to dump trailers and more. Call Larry at 218-368-7989 or Tim at 701-430-0877. Bloomfield Enterprises in Hillsboro.
There's more at 104. Hillsboro.
All right, welcome back to yourliveevent.com as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning for Lisbon. And that'll bring up Cruz Ranke. Ranke is flowing out to left field and to right field for his 2 plate appearances, 0-2 on the day. Recording the last out of the inning in the 1st and the 2nd inning. That's a slow chopper there to the pitcher. And little pitcher fielding takes care of Ranke for the 1st out.
I think the Minnesota Twins should take lessons from the pitcher because they've really struggled this season with pitchers fielding.
Well, maybe you could send some of the highlight footage there to him. All right, this is Jackson Hoffer, the number 8 hitter for Lisbon. Pitcher Wendelby out there with the 0-1 delivery. Now 1 ball, 1 strike. Bounces it in front of the plate. Here to Hoffer. Hoffer with a walk in the 2nd inning and then a pop-up to the catcher in the 3rd inning. Recorded the 1st out of that bottom of the 3rd inning for Lisbon.
He's had a lot of traffic on the bases as pitching, but he's gotten out of a lot of jams today.
2 balls, 1 strike. That's swung on up the middle. Gets by the second baseman for the base hit. Hoffer with the base hit, or the base knock.
Third baseman, number 5, Jacob Lyons.
So that'll bring up your bottom of the order. The bottom, number 9 hitter Jake Lyons, batting .231 on the season, playing third base. Has a runner on first with 1 out. That's a strike down the middle to Lyons. So the 0-1 on Lyons. Hoffer takes the lead at first. And he's going to take off in the throwdown. Not in time. Hoffer slides in head first. The head first slide by Jackson Hoffer, and has the stolen base. So runner in scoring position. Coach Bittner trying to end this one early if he can. 10 run in 5. Right now, you score 10-3 in the bottom of the 4th. So Jake Lyons now 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's Wendelby. Takes a look at Hoffer. The delivery, then chops it foul right in front of the catcher. They hit the plate. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner on second with the stolen base to Hoffer. And strike 3 there, swinging for Jake Lyons. That's his Lyons' second strikeout of the game.
Second baseman, number 2,
For the second out
Aaron Cordero.
of the inning for Lisbon. That brings back to top of the order, doing the most damage here for Lisbon. Cam Cordero on base 3 times today. Drew a walk in the 3rd, and then hit by pitch in the 2nd and in the 1st inning. So strike. Leading things off here from Wendelby to Cordero. 0-1 count. Out of the stretch, runner goes. A hit and run on for Lisbon. And foul back. Now 0-2 count. Wendelby working in front of Cordero. Cordero going to have to widen the strike zone a little bit. You know, with the 0-2 count. With 2 outs, Hoffer with the big lead. They walk him back.
Yeah, I've been watching Wendelby. It seems like Hoffer's just been taken off because he's not looking back.
Yep, that little hit there, slice and foul on the first base line. Right fielder not able to get to it. Hoffer was already rounding third about halfway to home. So battle going here now with the 0-2 on Cordero. So Cordero and Wendelby going at it. The pitch and outside for the first ball. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes for Cam Cordero. Here's Hoffer with the big lead. He's going to take off, and Cordero with the hit, bounces off. Hard hit by Cordero, bounces off the shortstop into left field. Hoffer comes around to score.
Catcher, number 14.
So hard hit, not able to get there, make the play as the shortstop. That brings Hoffer around to score. So still a 2-out rally going for Lisbon.
Tough play at short, Brand. What'd you give him? Give him a base hit?
I give him a base hit. So runner at first, that's Cordero. I'm not even sure if you call that a line drive or a grounder because it was lined and just hit right in front of his feet. I mean, about took his ankles out. And then runner Cordero goes. Another stolen base coming here for Cordero. He's going to go to third, getting greedy. The throw in time, but off the mark, and Cordero rounds it and takes the extra base.
Stolen base and an E2 on that play.
So let's go Cordero now at third. Eli Lyons with 1 ball and 1 strike for Lisbon. Wendelby, and that's hit to the center fielder. He backs up over his head. One of the harder hits to field. The line drive straight at the center fielder. It gets over his head. You just misread it. Lyons is going to try to stretch this into a triple, and he'll stand up with the triple. And the run batted in, so the RBI for Lions.
Yeah, Meidinger must have misread the ball. He ran in on it, and it either kept rising or something, but he had to jump and got over his head.
Yeah, just misplayed it. And like you said, his first step was in and not out, and the ball hit right at him. Nice line drive, hard hit by Eli Lyons. And that'll drive in another run.
Yeah, top three in the order have done damage tonight for the Broncos.
Get that score updated with the 2 outs. Runner at third is Lions with the triple. So far in the inning, Hoffer and Cordero have come around to score. Bittner with the hit goes to the shortstop. Hard play, deep in the hole, throws across his body, and that's in there for a hit for Bittner.
Speed kills, I tell you what, in any sport.
So Lions across for another run. So 13-3, they have the 10 run advantage right now in the bottom of the fourth. We have to go to Oak Grove will have to bat again the top of the fifth. Still a runner on base, and that's well hit. This time making the play is Meidinger out in center field as he records the out for out number 3 in the inning. As Bittner made his way to first base, Howard flies out to the center fielder. And that'll do it for the bottom of the fourth inning, but Lisbon adds a couple more runs now to score. 13-3, they put 3 more on the board as we head to the top of the fifth inning from LFD Field at Sandigger Park in Lisbon, North Dakota. This is YourLiveEvent.com.
You need on your next road trip: food, fuel, fun, and family-friendly activities. Stop by and fill up your tank or grab a bite to eat. Have a blast at Goose River Golf Club, the swimming pool, or one of our beautiful parks. There's even ice skating and cross-country skiing. Take in the sights or stay the night so you don't miss a thing. Experience Hillsboro and see why there's more at 104.
It's the North Dakota All-Star Gathering on Your Live Event, as we'll cover the Shields Softball All-Star Series on June 2nd and 3rd.
This will be hit and over the shortstop Berg into left center field. A run comes in to score with Alexander Rath.
Optimist Volleyball Series June 16th and 17th.
Blue outside Linsinger with another hammer.
Plus, the Lions All-Star Basketball Series on July 14th and 15th.
Baldwin finds Wick. Wick open, three-pointer coming. Yes, sir!
For more information, go to yourliveevent.com.
There's more at 104. Hillsboro, North Dakota has everything you need on your next road trip: food, fuel, fun, and family-friendly activities. Stop by and fill up your tank or grab a bite to eat. Have a blast at Goose River Golf Club, the swimming pool, or one of our beautiful parks. There's even ice skating and cross-country skiing. Take in the sight.
All right, welcome back. YourLiveEvent.com as we are at the top of the fifth inning. Butenhoff up, the number 4 hitter, cleanup hitter. Butenhoff with a double in the third inning. Or excuse me, in the third inning. Flew out to center field in the first. And now the 2-0 is in there for a strike. Hits the outside part of the plate for the 2-1 count. Here to Butenhoff.
Yeah, and the Broncos just need 3 outs to secure the win tonight.
That ball hit foul over towards the visitor dugout on the third base side.
What's the bracket look like if the Broncos go on to win?
Play the winner of Northern Cass and Oaks. Or excuse me, I think Northern Cass and Enderlin. My bad. And that's pop up here for Lions. Makes a good play. Calls off the pitcher. So good communication by Lions to Hoffer. Butenhoff flies out to the catcher, or pops out to the catcher. Brings up Oliver Hegvik. It's like Hoffer trying to go the complete game here for the Broncos to open things up in the Region 1 tournament.
Be great for the rest of the staff if he could get this done.
And curveball in there for a strike. I'll just say off speed. So here's Oliver Hegvik. 0-1 count. That's in there for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike to Hegvik. Hegvik with a double in the second inning. And then a single in the third.
If the Broncos hang on to win, and I would guess we'll probably see Jordan Bittner facing, assume, Northern Cass in Thoroldson Park tomorrow.
Yeah, now it's fouled off. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, that could be a good pitching duel tomorrow if you have Husar and Bittner battling it out. That's a 3rd strike swing. Bounces, gets away from the catcher, but recording the out and the strikeout. So 2 away. Broncos 1 out away from advancing in the championship bracket. Take on the winner of Northern Cass and Oaks. Or excuse me, Northern Cass and Enderlin.
Yeah, you get Husar versus Bittner. You got like 2 or 3 earned runs total on the year between the 2 pitchers. I think last I heard, Husar still hadn't given up a run as far as I know. And I think Jordan's given up maybe 1 or 2 is all this season.
Yep. And that's hit to the shortstop line and out. That records a 3rd out there for Jack Bjornson as the Lisbon Broncos win by a score of 13-3. They pick up the 10-run win or 10-run victory here in the bottom of in the 5th inning over the Oak Grove Grovers. They'll advance into the 2nd round, and those games will be played up in Fargo for the remainder of their Region 1 tournament up in Fargo, as the Broncos victorious here by a score of 13-3 over the Oak Grove Grovers. As we will step away, we'll come back for our post-game show, hand out our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game and our HTC Connection of the game, as well as Agassiz Egg Precision Play of the Game. That's just ahead on yourliveevent.com.
So you don't miss a thing. Experience Hillsboro and see why there's more at 104.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
This is Chris from Agassiz Precision Ag, your local precision planting dealer. Say thank you to the farmers you come into contact with every day. They have chosen a career that is as much their deep passion as it is an absolute necessity for you and I. Spring is upon us and there will be farm equipment on the roads. Give them your patience and room to do their jobs. Trust me, they would rather be off the road working in their field than dealing with traffic. From all of us here at Agassiz Precision Ag, we say thank you and have a safe spring.
The Northern Cass Booster Club is here for all Jaguar students from academics, arts, athletics, and co-curricular activities throughout the school year. You can find more information or become a Northern Cass Booster Club member today by scanning the QR code on screen now, or follow the Northern Cass Booster Club on Facebook for updates throughout the year, or simply search for the Northern Cass Booster Club page on the Northern Cass School website. Go Jags! Since its beginning, the Central Cass Booster Club has generated and helped sustain fan interest in the men's and women's athletic programs at Central Cass High School. Through the years, that mission has broadened to also enhance the youth programs throughout the community. For more information, search Central Cass Booster Club on Facebook or email centralcassboosterclub@gmail.com. That's centralcassboosterclub@gmail.com. Go Squirrels!
It's time to hit the ground with summer lawn and gardening projects, and Mayport Hardware is here to help. Stop by the greenhouse and browse the wide selection of flowers to liven up your yard. From the outdoor power tools of mowers, tillers, and trimmers to the lawn care essentials of seeds, fertilizers, and top-tier gardening tools, let Mayport Hardware transform your yard to where the grass is greener. Come visit Tim, Sue, and the staff at Trail County's Hardware Hank on Main Street in Mayville.
Did you know that there are several different types of crop hail insurance policies? Hi, this is Bethany Rentz, crop insurance agent with Irie Insurance. We at Irie Insurance want to help you select a hail policy that will best protect your crops and bottom line from a hailstorm. Give us a call today to schedule a time to meet with an Irie Insurance agent. For our contact information, go to our website at irieins.com.
You're protected and appreciated at Irie.
Irie Insurance is an equal opportunity provider.
There's more at 104. Hillsborough, North Dakota has everything you want in a hometown. Business opportunity.
All right, welcome back to YourLiveEvent.com as the Lisbon Broncos down the Oak Grove Grovers in 5-inning, 10-run rule in 5 innings. 13-3, the Lisbon Broncos pick up the victory. Your winning pitcher is Jackson Hoffer going the complete game for Lisbon with 5 innings pitched, giving up 6 hits and 3 runs, 3 strikeouts and 1 walk for Jackson Hoffer. Losing pitcher is Hegvik for the Oak Grove Grovers, going 1 1/3 inning, giving up 5 runs on 2 hits and no strikeouts and 1 base on balls with 2 walks and looks like 3 hit by pitches there for Hegvik. So the Broncos getting on the scoreboard. They put 2 runs on in the first inning, scored 2 more. Scored 2 runs in the first inning, had a big run, or a big second inning, scoring 5 runs, then put 3 more on in the third and fourth innings here for Lisbon as they scored 13 runs off of 9 hits for Lisbon. And Jackson Hoffer picking up the win. The Broncos will advance into the second round, championship round of the Region 1 tournament. As we are here now into our post-game show. This will be our Norman County Raceway and River Valley Speedway post-game show. Check the World Outlaws late models on June 28th and Ada. Tickets now available at NormanCountyRaceway.com and River Valley Speedway in West Fargo. Friday night races start at 7, and check out the World of Outlaws sprint cars on May 31st and August 23rd. More info at RedRiverValleySpeedway.com. So this is your Norman County Raceway and River Valley Speedway post-game show here for the Broncos. On the season, they'll all improve to 10-5 overall and 17-10. And 18-10 overall in the season. So 10-5 in the region, 18-10. They'll advance to the second round, and it looks like they will face Northern Cass in that second round, championship round tomorrow. Just have to wait. Don't know the time of that one yet, but they will face Northern Cass. Northern Cass is up, looks like by a score of 11-0 right now in the top of the 5th inning. Enderlin's up to bat as they are the visitors, but right now 11-0 score. Top of the 5th inning between Northern Cass and the Enderlin Eagles. As we'll go ahead and we'll continue our post-game show as we have to hand out our Ember General Player of the Game, or HTC Connection of the Game, and our Agassi Precision Egg Play of the Game. That's just ahead here on YourLiveEvent.com.
Notch School. Shovel-ready lots for your next idea. Great jobs in manufacturing, healthcare, and agriculture. An excellent education for your kids with small class sizes and lots of school spirit. Plus easy access to I-29 and the conveniences of North Dakota's largest cities. Build your future in Hillsborough and see why there's more at 104.
Stop on out to Watts Ace Hardware in Castleton and gear up with name brands from Steel, Milwaukee, Ego, and Craftsman Power Tools. Plus, Watts Ace Hardware has a key cutting and paint mixing section for your own do-it-yourself projects. From their grill selection with Traeger, Blackstone, Weber, and the Big Green Egg to their customer laser engraving center, Watts Ace Hardware is a place you need to check out. Stop in at 1610 Governor's Drive in Castleton for Watts Ace Hardware.
Sharing our heritage, sharing our future. Choosing the right bank for your financial needs can be challenging with the many choices available. Dakota Heritage Bank is pleased you're interested in knowing more about what they can do for you. The Dakota Heritage Bank community bank setting is a strong advantage they have over larger, less personal banks. Customers are more than account numbers. They are friends and neighbors. Working together, Dakota Heritage Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
I will be your guiding light, 'cause you don't have to go alone. I will bring you through the storm.
It's safe to say we have it pretty good in the Drayton, North Dakota area. Growing sugar beets, making sugar, bringing...
All right, welcome back here, liveevent.com. The Lisbon Broncos win by a score of 13-3 in 5 innings over the Oak Grove Grovers, as looks like they'll face now at 11 a.m. tomorrow at Thoroldson Park the Northern Cass Jaguars. So this continues on with our post-game show, our Norman County Raceway and River Valley Speedway post-game show here on YourLiveEvent.com, as well as our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game. Life takes energy from Enbridge. So this is your Enbridge Energy Player of the Game. And that Enbridge Energy Player of the Game as selected by Troy Jorgensen and myself, our cameraman of the night, goes out to Jackson Hoffer. Hoffer coming in big for the Lisbon Broncos, leading things off in this tournament, pitching a complete game for Lisbon, and then also helping himself out at the plate for Hoffer, as in the bottom of the order, the number 8 batter, picking up a walk and then a single to get on base, and really started those rallies off for the Lisbon Broncos there. So Enbridge Energy Player of the Game going out to Jackson Hoffer.
Yeah, I think he had 2 stolen bases tonight too as well, Brent. But yeah, he really helped out the pitching staff. If Coach Bittner would have had to bring somebody else in, then you're obviously, when you're up that big, you're kind of wasting an arm that can go tomorrow or Saturday if come to be. But little thing about the Enderlin Northern Cass game, Northern Cass final over Enderlin 11-0, but Enderlin battled. They had the bases loaded with 2 outs, and the guy ended up popping up at first. But Enderlin could have easily continued that game, and that would have been really unexpected.
Yeah, so we do know Lisbon will face Northern Cass Jaguars in the second round there at 11 a.m. at Thoroldson Park. Going on now to our HTC connection of the game, and that's going out for HTC connection of the game. Discover local reliability you can trust. Halstead Telephone Communications. It's how to connect at halsteadtel.com. That's going out to Eli Lyons of Lisbon Broncos. The catchers for Lisbon making a great play in that 4th inning on the fielder's choice, picking up the out as there was a bunt put down in front of home plate, and Eli Lyons fields it, gets the out at first. So he is your HTC connection of the match there for Eli Lyons, and now your Agassi Egg Precision Play of the Game. And we're going to hand that out to Jordan Bittner of the Lisbon Broncos with that play at shortstop, picking up a couple nice, fine plays there. Well-hit ball, hard-hit ball there to Jordan, and he goes charging in on it, makes a spectacular play from shortstop, charging in, throws it over to first for the out, and then had another repeat, similar play to that. So 2 fantastic plays there at shortstop by Jordan Bittner there, picking up your Agassi Egg Precision Play of the Game. That's out of Hillsboro, North Dakota, and those are your special awardees today for this Region 1 contest here from Lisbon, North Dakota. As we'll see if we can get an interview here with Jackson Hoffer to close things out, and then some parting thoughts before we close out here from Lisbon, North Dakota, as Lisbon Broncos down the Oak Grove Grovers by a score of 13-3.
Every day, American Crystal Sugar produces sweet products people love in a place we love to call home. It's a thing we like to call the sweet life, and we're proud to share it with you. American Crystal Sugar's Drayton facility has recently started offering a $4 per hour shift differential for rotating shifts. Go to AmericanCrystalCareers.com for more information.
Since its beginning, the Central Cass Booster Club has generated and helped sustain fan interest in the men's and women's athletic programs at Central Cass High School. Through the years, that mission has broadened to also enhance the youth programs throughout the community. For more information, search Central Cass Booster Club on Facebook or email centralcassboosterclub@gmail.com. That's centralcassboosterclub@gmail.com. Go Squirrels!
The Rumble on the Red, presented by Ellingson Companies and Gerdau Metals Recycling, is coming to West Fargo, North Dakota. The World of Outlaws Nos Energy Drink Sprint Cars come to the Red River Valley Speedway on Saturday, May 31st. Tickets are available now at slspromotions.com or by calling 815-344-2023.
Hunter Insurance.
All right, welcome back to YourLiveEvent.com as the Lisbon Broncos down the Oak Grove Grovers by a score of 13-3. And here with our post-game interview from Dakota Heritage Bank. This is your Dakota Heritage Bank post-game interview on YourLiveEvent.com, sharing our heritage, sharing our future with locations in North Dakota and Minnesota. That's dhb.bank. That's Dakota Heritage Bank's post-game interview with Jackson Hoffer here from the Lisbon Broncos. Jackson, opening up things for Lisbon with that pitching win for Lisbon in the Region 1 tournament. So Troy and I selected you as our player of the game just for the work that you did coming out here. Just a really gutsy performance, opening things up for Lisbon and kind of helping preserving that pitching staff as Lisbon didn't have to bring in a relief pitcher. You pitched the complete game. Gave up a couple hits, couple runs. How did that pitching performance go, or how do you feel about that pitching performance today?
I was feeling good.
Yeah, you got to hold her up there pretty close.
Feeling good for most of it.
A little bit closer.
Towards the end, arm was getting a little tired there. Got up in the pitches, had a bad inning, but worked through it and got it done.
Yeah, just talking about, you said you maybe had a bad inning there. That third inning got extended a little bit, but you're able to pitch yourself out of a jam. What do you I guess kind of work through mentally, or it looked like the coach came out there once and maybe kind of sat you guys down and talked things through. So what did Coach Bittner tell you between innings or on the mound visit to get you through this game and get you on to the next game in the tournament?
Came out there and just calmed me down. Gave me a minute to breathe so I could get back into the game, and I just had to breathe for a second. Realized I needed to calm down, slow it down a little bit, and figure it out, and that's what I did and got it done.
Yeah, that's just a good sign of a mature pitcher, is just being able to collect themselves and battle through a little bit of adversity. Some of these younger pitchers maybe don't have that mental toughness, kind of what you're talking about, or you're alluding to, and the confidence shown in you by Coach Bittner. You're a senior this year, closing things out in style here for Lisbon High School and Lisbon baseball, being your first season for Lisbon baseball, I should say, for Lisbon High School, our first season of baseball. So what are your thoughts on just having this first season of baseball, and what does it mean, do you think, not only to the school and to the students and faculty, but also the city of Lisbon?
I think it's a great thing. I quit year of baseball, came back out, happy I did it. It's a good time. I think everybody should try it. It's a good time, good coaches, having fun out here playing ball. It gets cold sometimes. You just got to dress warm. But other than that, it's a great time, beautiful weather most of the time.
Yeah, able to hang out with your buddies and make a few more memories.
Me and he can come watch play baseball, and
that's right. And you also have another shot at playing in another state tournament. You have to get by Northern Cass tomorrow to make it into that first championship game. And it's not an insurmountable task as you kind of look forward to Northern Cass. You guys have had a couple of competitive games with them. The first game was a 2-1 loss, and then it was an 8-0 loss when they came here. So, you just have any thoughts that you're heading into that Northern Cass game tomorrow?
It's going to come there, play hard with their heads up, and try and get it done.
Yeah, both teams putting up a number of runs tonight. Northern Cass ended up winning by a score 11-0 over Enderlin. You guys won 13-3 over the Oak Grove Grovers. And I just want to send congratulations out to Lisbon Broncos and out to Jackson Hoffer here, putting in a great performance pitching for the Lisbon Broncos as they advance now to that second round against Northern Cass Jaguars for that Region 1 tournament. So we're going to step away, take another word from our sponsor. We'll come back with our closing thoughts after this message.
Service agency providing protection and coverage in a number of different areas. Hunter Insurance Agency offers multi-peril crop insurance, crop hail insurance, and farm insurance for buildings and equipment. Plus, they offer home, auto, life, and business insurance. For more information, go online to hunterinsuranceagency.com or stop in and speak with Johnny Jorgensen at Hunter Insurance Agency. Find them at 201 Main Street, Hunter.
The World of Outlaws late models return to the Norman County Raceway, Ada, Minnesota, June 28th. Ada Building Center LLC start to finish showdown. Presented by R&J Broadcasting Incorporated. Enjoy the experience. Nationwide top 10 experience last year. Let's make it number 1 this year. World of Outlaws late models. Ada Building Center LLC start to finish showdown. Presented by R&J Broadcasting Incorporated. Tickets now available. ncraceway.com.
Farmers, are you expanding, upgrading, or want to automate? Visit with the experienced staff at Hope Electric to learn about the latest electrical system.
The other night.
All right, back with YourLiveEvent.com as we continue on with our post-game show from LFD Field in Lisbon, North Dakota. So this is your Norman County Raceway and River Valley Speedway post-game show on YourLiveEvent.com as we had our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game there with Jackson Hoffer. Hoffer throwing a complete game for Lisbon, giving up 3 runs on 6 hits. As we'll try to get this feature off of there and close things out here from LFD Field. as Lisbon Broncos win by a score of 13-3. They'll face Northern Cache Jaguars tomorrow. And just going to turn to Troy real quick here. Troy, if you got a couple thoughts, maybe a couple key things that you saw today out of the Broncos for today, and then maybe heading into tomorrow.
Oh yeah, the Broncos bats tonight were just on fire. I mean, hit after hit after hit. If we could have seen exit velocities, Brent, I'm sure some of them had to be 95 plus. And if you look at the major leagues, anything over 95 is considered a barrel. There were a lot of barrels tonight by the Broncos. And give credit to the Grovers. They had a lot of runners on in the innings, but Jackson Hoffer, I mean, just pitched his great. Got out a lot of jams. Yeah, he gave up 3 runs, but could have been a lot worse for him.
Yeah, and just to go on that, he had a great defense backing him up there. There was maybe just a play, a couple gap plays maybe that the Broncos could have cleaned up a little bit better, but had a great defense behind you. And we saw Jacob Lyons making a great play at third base. We saw Jordan Bittner making a couple stabs over there at shortstop. So great defense there behind Jackson Hoffer. Great pitching performance for Hoffer as well. He had I know he has a lot of confidence in that defense backing him up, and just able to, pull it together there and hit that complete game for Lisbon.
Yeah, and looking at tomorrow, we're assuming it's going to be Hussar. If it is, you're not going to, from the one game I've watched, you're not going to get many pitches to hit. If you do, you can't miss him tomorrow. I mean, it's a region tournament for one thing, but two, I don't know where, but I know he's going D1, and I know he plays for a West Fargo school in the summer. But I've watched a lot of high school and Legion baseball, and I don't know that I've ever seen a pitcher that good. And I know, I think it's Jacob Ossie is their number 2 or 1B, whatever you want to say. I don't know if he pitched today. I would guess probably not, but you're going to see one of those two, and I know they're both going to play college ball. So that's my thoughts on tomorrow is you get that one pitch to hit, you better not miss it. And I know I said it before, but I'll say it again. Thank you to Brent and your live event for the opportunity.
All right, folks, that's your comments there from Troy Jorgensen to close things out there as the Lisbon Broncos will travel up to Theraldson Park for that 11 a.m. showdown with Northern Cache Jaguars. Troy and I are looking forward to that possible matchup between Hussar and Bittner. That would be a heck of a pitching duel if that does transpire, but, never know what the coaches are thinking. They might have a last-minute scratch, last-minute change, as they fall victim to the mental game as well. Not only the players, but the coaches sometimes, have that lapse as well. So we'll see what shakes out tomorrow as you can catch the more region tournament action on yourliveevent.com, and that'll be out at Theraldson Park. The Lisbon Broncos taking on the Northern Cache Jaguars at 11 a.m. tomorrow. As we're going to step away, close things out, and we shall see you on the other side as we will have continuing coverage of the Region 1 baseball tournament on yourliveevent.com.